What's your new TV network you're going to be watching?
Pick TV.
There you go. How old is he?
Say 10 months.
10 months, and he's got Pick TV at 10 months old. Look at that. That's our brand new member of the Pick TV network, folks. He is so happy.
He is a good happy day.
Wow. Go Pick TV.
We've all been hurt, even abandoned. Many of us have done the hurting ourselves. We get to the point where we don't trust anyone, nor do we feel worthy of being loved by anyone. Then there's that one person who just doesn't give up on loving you. Their love is unconditional. Their love stays long enough for you to heal. And then they promise to never leave. That's love you can count on. God's love.
Hey everybody, David Evans here, the president of Pick TV Network. I'm so excited, delighted, blessed, and impressed to bring you another show from the Pick TV Network. Certainly, folks, you want to tell everybody that the Pick TV Network spotlight is on right now. And we're going to spotlight Danne Smith. She is a wonderful woman, author, professional writer, connections with Carnegie Mellon. You got to hear her presentation tonight. You don't want to miss this. Certainly want to thank our audience from around the world through Roku. We're able to beam this from Washington, D.C. to Brazil. Thank you, Brazil, for watching with us. Thank you for coming on with us. France, Colombia, Mexico, Panama, Paris, Peru, Argentina, Egypt, Canada, Ireland, West Africa, United Kingdom, Australia, with Teresa's there, Germany, Dennis is there, and the United States. You are here on the Pick TV Network. I'm excited to bring to you a special guest that we're going to interview up close and personal right now, folks. We're so happy for our special guest today on the show. How you doing today, Danne Smith Mathis?
Hey, David, I am well. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining this wonderful network. It's so great to have everyone here, and I'm honored to be here, David.
No, we thank you for coming. We've been waiting in the wings a long time, and finally you are here. Let's
Yes.
get right into this interview today, up close and personal. Tell the whole world, who is Danne Smith Mathis? Tell the whole world.
Well, I'm a Jersey girl in Hampton, for one. Yeah, born and reared in New Jersey, Essex County, New Jersey. Started in Newark, went to Orange, then to Maplewood, where my father served as vice mayor. I'm the daughter of a college president who was the first African American to be president of any college in the state of New Jersey. My dad, Tuskegee Airman in the 477th Bombardment Group. That is part of my legacy. My grandfather, my maternal grandfather, was a Pullman porter. For those of you who don't know, that was a brotherhood found of the Black men who were only allowed on the trains to ride the trains because they were serving white folks food and drink. And so my grandfather was part of my maternal grandfather. I'm part of that legacy of Pullman Porter Brotherhood. I'm the eldest daughter of 3 girls. My dad never had any sons, so I am a football fanatic. I know probably a lot more about football than a whole lot of men, believe it or not. And I am actually a speed skater. Since 1971, I've been speed skating. So I'm thrilled to have Erin Jackson as our first Black woman Olympic gold medalist in speed skating. I can't hear you, David.
The whole world is hearing about who you are and what you are doing all around the world. I'm excited. You know, when I was reading about you being a mother of 3, happy belated Mother's Day.
Thank you.
I'm going to say that love to you,
Thank
and
you.
being a book author. Talk a little bit about your book. Tell everybody about your book.
Well, let's see. I have co-authored 4 books in the last 3 years. So the first book that I co-authored was called Survivors: Celebrating Life Beyond Domestic Violence. And as a domestic violence survivor, I told my stories along with 12 other women, including a former WNBA player. So we all got together, told our stories in the hopes that there would be beauty for ashes after a life that was very, very difficult for all of us, that we kind of rose from the depth of the deep on that issue, and went in a different direction, and so that was the first book. The next 2 books were companion books, which are 2 that I am really continue to promote in the DE&I space, diversity, equity, and inclusion space. The first one is called Shut 'Em Down: Black Women, Racism, and Corporate America. That is my lengthy story about my experience, my very first experience with systemic racism in corporate America. And then a companion book is called Everyday Struggle: How Toxic Workspaces Impact Black Women. And so for me, my chapter in that book is more of a treatment of the specific issues, and talking about the issues specifically, like gaslighting and tone policing and racism and harassment and microaggressions. And so I do a different sort of treatment about my story, more geared towards those issues as opposed to my own personal story. And then the last one that I just recently co-authored is called Her War Too. And that was a book that was co-authored by, I think, another 13 or 14 women. My daughter and I actually are 2 of those 14 women. So my daughter told her story as a U.S. Army veteran, and I told my story about my daughter's story. So really, really happy. And now I'm working on my first solo book called Mentors Matter: Legacies in Black and White, which will feature all the mentors of my life, which includes August Wilson, the late playwright and Pulitzer Prize winner.
Wow. I'm so proud of you. Those are outstanding accomplishments. Everybody who's watching right now, you're watching the PIC TV network. We have a spotlight going on right now. And the spotlight is signing from Washington, D.C. all the way to Hampton, Virginia, with the queen on, Danne Smith Mathis. Danne, I want to talk about growing up in your household. You stated that your father was a college professor, president. Talk
Yes.
about growing up in the home of great demand with education, and tell us the college that your dad was the president of.
Yeah. So my parents were educators. They met in a classroom, and my mom was actually subbing my father's classroom. She was doing her teacher practicum. My dad had already actually graduated from college. And so I come from a long line of educators, and my dad became the first African-American to be a president of any college or university in the state of New Jersey when he became president of Essex County College, which is in the heart of Newark, where he, my mother, myself, my children grew up. So what I remember about that is, my dad did not, he just had a command of the English language. And so we had to as well. And I remember sitting at the dinner table, and when my sisters and I did not understand a word he was using, we would say, "Well, Dad, what does that mean?" And he would literally stop and make us go get a dictionary and look it up. And so that was more of a way where we really, in real time, increased our vocabulary than just, doing it because we had to because of a school curriculum. My mom was a second grade school teacher, and she was not a socialite, but her thing was just to go to school, do her lessons, teach, go to school, come home, cook the meals. My mom cooked meals before school, and she had a 40-minute drive one way. But she made sure we had hot meals every single day. We did not grow up on cereal. And in fact, I didn't even rear my children on cereal. I have a 5-year-old grandson, and when he asked me for cereal, I said, I don't do that. So that's not part of my repertoire as a mom or a grandma, because that's a legacy that my mom left. And so, but because my mother was not a socialite, I got to attend most of my father's social and political and business events starting at age 9. So I was exposed to quite a bit of life that a lot of people, regardless of their color or their race, creed, religion, or gender, or sexual preference, were ever exposed to. So I was very, very blessed, including, season tickets at the Jet games, because my dad had no boys. My dad had no sons. So I got to be the first one to learn about football in our family with my dad.
Excited when I hear you speaking about this information. The whole world is watching, and I am so excited, folks. You have a special guest on the PIC TV network spotlight. Again, we're spotlighting it from Washington, D.C. all the way to Hampton. Being a Jersey girl, oh wow. Is Jersey as bad as people say it is? And let's talk about some of the good and bad parts of Jersey, and some of the greats. Talk about some of the great people came out of Jersey. And I'm thinking about a singer that the whole world knows. She may not be here on earth, but her music will live on forever.
Sarah Vaughan.
All right. Give me another one.
Sarah Vaughan, Whitney Houston, Whitney Houston's mama, Sissy Houston, Whitney Houston's aunt, Dionne Warwick.
Wow.
I mean, there are, my goodness, there's just so many Jersey greats. Bruce Springsteen. Wow. So I'm a Newark girl, Brick City. And when I came up, let me tell you, I remember my memory. I left Newark at age 4, but my memory of Newark was during the '67 riots. And I remember my father. So my dad actually was the first Black student to attend Georgetown University Law School as well. But he did not stay there. He chose to leave after his first year because he was so discriminated against. They would not let him eat, live, sleep, or drink at the university. The only thing he could do was go to classes, and then he had to leave campus because he was Black. And so what he did was he had a command of the law enough to sue a governor in the state of New Jersey back in the 50s. And that lawsuit he won that lawsuit. And that lawsuit set precedent to actually desegregate the New Jersey National Guard. So fast forward 13 years later, my father is called up as a New Jersey National Guard in a unit that he actually desegregated, right? Because of a law brief that he wrote. And And I remember he sent my sister and I away. It's my sister and me away that summer to a camp in the northwest part of New Jersey, so that he could be part of helping the city officials to calm down the riots, the people who were rioting in Newark, New Jersey. And then 3-4 years later, he became president of the largest community of the community college there in the city of Newark, New Jersey. And it became the hope for so many people who couldn't afford to do anything except work, feed their families, and perhaps go and think of going back to school to finally earn their college degrees, starting at a community college.
Wow. I'm excited, about all the things that you're doing to educate us and to help us, being a professional author, a writer. Let's talk about you teaching, being a school teacher. I love teaching because I was also a college teacher, sociology and religion, and also I taught at Marriott Charter High School, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders, and it was a real experience.
Yes,
2006, 2007, before I went to HUD, United States Housing and Urban Development, for 12 years. And I was teaching in school, and every day I would get up and teach those kids, and it was an experience.
My. Well, my parents and my sisters and I were always on the same schedule because they were teachers and we were students. And so everyone had this 9-month school schedule or 10-month school schedule, and then we were all off during the summer times. So I remember my parents, who were teaching at public schools at the time, always brought home the old desk that they were throwing out. And
Wow.
So they would put them in our basement, and I would play school. I would get my kids, my friends from the neighborhood, and I would basically, do school with them. And we'd have our black and white composition notepads and pens, and I would be the teacher. So fast forward, I'm a graduate of Carnegie Mellon University. I got a bachelor's in Bachelor of Arts in Creative Writing from there, and then I went on to the University of Southern California to get a master's in professional writing. But I will tell you, when you teach, it's because I think you learn best how to learn. And so good teachers are the best learners, right? And that is what my book is about, the mentors, the mentors that help me to learn, not only about writing, but about life and about how to just be a good, kind person. And and so one of those, two of the people that I'd like to really give a shout out were August Wilson, the playwright and Pulitzer Prize winner, who was from Pittsburgh, of course, where Carnegie Mellon is, and Ruby Dee. And Ruby Dee is a sorority sister of mine. And because I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, the largest African-American women's sorority on the planet, I had the greatest honor of working alongside of Ruby Dee when I did a short documentary film on the history and founding of our sorority that aired at our 1981 convention in Washington, D.C., National Convention in Washington, D.C. August helped me keep my voice as a writer. And so I and Ruby helped me to become more confident as a poet. So I learned how to transfer the skills of mentoring and teaching to my own children. I homeschooled for 20 years. I stayed at home. I was a stay-at-home mom for 20 years. I homeschooled my children from 2000 to no, I'm sorry. It was actually from 1990 to 2005. So for 15 years, I was a homeschool mom. And I now have 3 children who contribute significantly to the planet. All of them are college graduates. My daughter serves in the United States Army. She's a college graduate of Johnson & Wales University in Hospitality and Hotel Management. I have a son that was just hooded last week at the comeback ceremony at the University of Michigan, who received a PhD in applied physics. And I also have a son who is a registered nurse. So I'm happy about the fact that I could give them a very good foundation as their teacher for the first 13 years of their lives.
Wow. I'm so proud of you. We have a educational shows on the Pick TV network. So I would love for you to come back and talk on the business channel, the learning channel, the sports channel. Since you said sports, we're gonna take a commercial break, and I'm gonna talk about some teens, and we're gonna give you a little quiz on that, folks. You're watching the Pick TV network on all social media platforms. Channel 1000 live on the Pick TV network and our Spotlight channel, and on all social media platforms. So you like and share if you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all the social media platforms that we are on. We want you to showcase, tell somebody about this Spotlight and the repeats, because we play this over and over and over again. We're going to take a commercial break, folks. We'll be right back after this.
Hey everyone, this is big. I want everyone to download the Pick TV network on your Roku search bar. My brother David Evans is growing Pick TV fans, and I want us to help my brother blow up Pick TV. Boom! PickTVNetwork.com. Bomb.
Hey everybody, Claudia Jordan here. Check out the Pick TV network, now showing on Roku with 60 channels. David Evans is the president and is doing a great job showing quality TV programs to people all over the world. Let's support Pick TV. Go to the PickTVNetwork.com. That's the PickTVNetwork.com. Shout out to David Evans doing his thing. I love when people are out there making it really happen and doing beautiful, fantastic work. So shout out to you, and make sure you check him out on Roku with 60 channels. All right, David Evans, congratulations, and keep me abreast of all the hot, products and shows and things you got going on. I'm really interested. All right, best of luck.
We've all been hurt at some point, even abandoned. Many of us have done the hurting ourselves. We get to the point where we don't trust anyone, nor do we feel worthy of being loved by anyone. Then there's that one person who just doesn't give up on loving you. Their love is unconditional. Their love stays long enough for you to heal. And then they promise to never leave. That's love you can count on. God's love.
Hey everybody, we're right back here on the Pick TV network with our special guest today. We are so happy to have Danne Smith Mathis. She is a queen, folks. Graduate of Carnegie Mellon University, one of the greatest schools in engineering in the world. How do you know that? Because my son went there. How do you know that? Because it costs a lot. So, Carnegie Mellon, are you serious?
Yes.
When people say Carnegie Mellon, they think about the Carnegies in New York. But give us a little bit about the history of Carnegie Mellon, because a lot of people still don't know about how
Oh
big
my
Carnegie Mellon.
goodness. Oh my goodness. This is like the best question in the world for me. So first of all, let me respectfully say it is Carnegie. So Andrew Carnegie is the founder of Carnegie Institute, and Andrew Mellon was the founder of the Mellon Institute of Science. The colleges actually merged in a long time after it was founded. So Carnegie Mellon was founded in 1900. But let me tell you something about Carnegie Mellon, what I found out. So I was the member of the Carnegie Mellon Black Alumni Association, and then I became the acting president of the Carnegie Mellon Alumni Association. During that time, the Black alumni asked me to research the history of the Black student at Carnegie Mellon, because we were gearing up for the University Centennial Homecoming in 2001. So for 2 years, from 1999 to 2001, I researched the history of the Black student at Carnegie Mellon. And I went as far back as 1907, I think, an 07 yearbook. I was having a difficult, you know how you're looking for like all the Black students, like, where are they in the yearbooks? And I didn't see one before like a 1930 yearbook. And I was like, but that was like 70 years after the college was founded. 30 years after the college was founded. What happened before that? And so I started looking into older yearbooks, and I started looking at the night school, because, you know, our folks were working during the day, but they were going to school at night. Here's one interesting fact about Carnegie Mellon University. And if you ever get to visit the university and you go into the admissions office, you will see a plaque with a photograph of Andrew Carnegie and Booker T. Washington, beautiful black and white photo, and a plaque. And there's an inscription on that plaque that I actually wrote that talks about the Tuskegee-Carnegie connection. So Andrew Carnegie, let me back up. Booker T. Washington was like fundraiser extraordinaire. So if you want to know anything about fundraising, study Booker T. Washington from a fundraising standpoint, because he wrote Andrew Carnegie for 7 years when Andrew Carnegie had an apartment on the east side of New York. And after the 7th year, Andrew Carnegie finally decided to answer Booker T. Washington's request for funding for Tuskegee Institute at the time. Andrew Carnegie went and visited Tuskegee Institute, and then he became a member of the board of trustees of Tuskegee Institute. And in fact, the original library, of course, because Andrew Carnegie is the founder and of the public library system in America. And so a lot of the libraries on the historically Black colleges and university campuses are called the Carnegie Library because of the influence of Andrew Carnegie. Specifically at Tuskegee University, Andrew Carnegie gave the university $500,000, okay, in the early 1900s, like $500,000. I'll take that now. And so, and he became a board member. Andrew Carnegie became a board member, along with William Taft, who was our former president. A lot of people don't know this, but I believe honestly that the Carnegie Institute of Technology had its roots in terms of the direction of the institution of when it was founded. I believe that Andrew Carnegie had a lot of mentoring from Booker T. Washington, and therefore helped Andrew Carnegie to figure out how to found Carnegie Institute of Technology, which is now what we know as Carnegie Mellon University. I believe that's the Carnegie Tuskegee Institute connection. And I have written about that in a documentary film called Decades in Black, the 100-year history of the Black student at Carnegie Mellon University, which is on film.
A plus.
It actually premiered at the university's 100th, their centennial homecoming.
A plus, nothing but A plus. I am so happy that you are on the PIC TV network. You know, we have educational programs, and this is one of the top educational programs that we have today with you on. You know, when you say Carnegie Mellon University, when I was reading your bio, and I never thought my son, first of all, Amos Emmanuel Evans, He was the #1 reading and math students in the country
Ah,
before he graduated from high school. He made straight A's from elementary to high school. 1960 on his SAT. 1960 on his SAT. He had a scholarship.
wow.
He had a scholarship to go to, so many schools. There was just offering him scholarships from all over the world.
Yes.
And he decided to go to Carnegie Mellon. And I said, Amos, you want to go to Carnegie Mellon? He said, Dad, it's a big honor to go to Carnegie Mellon.
It is.
And Morehouse had a secret meeting with me and my wife and said, fly him down here. Oprah Winfrey has 16 kids that she's sponsoring. All he needs is an ink pen. Take your money, go on a vacation, go to Hawaii. All you got to do is come to Morehouse. And then Harvard came to Maryland, Oxon Hill, a secret meeting with me and my wife. They said, we never, ever come here. We never come down to Washington to Oxon Hill. They said, because of Amos Evans making a 1960 on his SAT, we came to see who he was. He had an offer to go to Harvard. He had a full ride to go to Morehouse, but he chose Carnegie Mellon because he felt the diversity was good for him, the challenge was good for him. Now he's a graduate.
Woo-hoo, yes. And you tell your son, and I think I mentioned this to you, but I'll say it again to the audience. I was just appointed to a 4-year term of the Carnegie Mellon University Alumni Association Board. So, my term begins July the 1st of this year. So it'll last for 4 years through 2026. So I am really, really thrilled and honored about that. So yeah, we're going to get your son involved.
Yeah, you got to get Amos involved since you're in that high position up there.
Yeah.
As a parent, the greatest thing, and I know a lot of parents are watching, is not a big name school. It's to make sure your son is safe. Make sure your daughter is safe. You want to feel comfortable when you go to bed that they are okay. I had my other son, Stephen Evans, he's in California. He's a graduate, a college graduate too. But I never thought Amos would go that far. I thought he would stay close. But when he went to Carnegie Mellon, we don't know nobody in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Nothing but the Steelers. And I had to drive up to Breezewood and come back 270. Oh, man, so many times I feel like I lived there. Me and my wife would stay at the Westin Hotel, the Hilton Hotel. We walk around downtown.
Beautiful city, though. Beautiful city.
Too many bridges and rivers.
Come on, think of the man. I mean, if you watch the Netflix documentary of the men who built America, Andrew Carnegie was the one, because of the transportation system. I mean, he ran the railroads. It was off the chain.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
There's a lot of history in that. U.S. Steel, all of that. Everything was running. He was running a whole lot of stuff with the Rockefellers and a few other folks.
Yeah, I'm telling you that steel building downtown was just amazing.
The U.S. Steel building. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we went to the waterfront down there.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, you've never been to Pittsburgh. It snowed on my son's graduation. This was May, the second week in May, right after Mother's Day. I never seen it in my life. It was snowing at his graduation outside.
It's unbelievable. What the weather does in Pittsburgh is not nice to some of us.
So let's talk about, again, you got to give a couple of shots out to more before we close this broadcast. Because you're going to definitely come back on because there's so many programs and shows I want you to do on PIC TV Network.
I'd be honored.
You're doing a wonderful interview today. I'm so proud of you. I didn't know that you was doing so much, as a film documentary. Let's talk about the 1968 Olympics team. Let's talk about that.
Oh my goodness, dear to my heart. I want you to know. So I became they kind of adopted me as a member of the I was a member of the 1968 Olympic team family. I was working as right before I went to graduate school. As a matter of fact, in between graduating from Carnegie Mellon University in '79 and then going to University of Southern Cal in 1981. I actually was working for the Mayor's Office of Employment and Training in the city of Newark. And during that time, I was working with now, who is the Lieutenant Governor, Sheila Y. Oliver. She was then my boss. And she was teaching me how to do grant writing and getting funding for youth programs at the time. And so one of the programs we got funding for was called the Summer Olympic Motivational Program, which was really founded by a member of the 1968 U.S. Olympic track and field team, gold medalist, bronze medalist, Ron Freeman, who was from Elizabeth, New Jersey. So Ron one summer came and brought this program in, and this program was designed to help students to understand the connection between athletics and education, and the commitment that is there to excel in both, right? And it was specifically geared towards students who were on the cusp of thinking whether they were going to drop out or not because they had failed their junior year in high school, and whether or not they were going to actually take the effort to repeat it and then eventually graduate from high school. So this program was designed specifically for those students. And so we mentored these students, and Ron brought in many of the Olympians from the 1968, 64, and 1960 team. And one of the 1960 team members he brought in was Wilma Rudolph. They all spoke to the students over a week-long time. I was the program manager from the program. And since that time, I've been joined at the hip to the 1968 U.S. Olympic team. And so now I am actually the creator of a film that documents the stories of the women on that team from the 1968 Olympic team who were pre-Title IX and whose stories have never been told.
Amazing. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm so excited about your life story, and it's amazing. The whole world needs to know. You need to watch this woman of God, this queen who's doing awesome things. You can get in touch with her by her 10K card. Danne, 10K.com is the way to get in touch with her. And folks, this is an awesome show. I just one of the best shows I had. Come on, give a shout out to some people.
Well, I want to give a shout out to the Steelers. So I just attended the 100th birthday party for Herb Douglas, who was the bronze medalist in the long jump in the 1948 London Olympics. And Franco Harris, as you all know from the Pittsburgh Steelers, he threw that party for Herb. And so I was invited to that, and I was so honored to be a part of that. The reason I say that is because I have to tell you the secret. So I knew nothing about Carnegie Mellon, where it was, the reputation it has as a stellar institution all over the world. And when I was a high school senior, and my guidance counselor in high school said, you're such a good writer. They've got a creative writing program. You should go to this school. And I had two choices, either Carnegie Mellon or Syracuse University, because I got waitlisted on Princeton, and then eventually they didn't accept me. And then I wanted to go to Barnard, and they didn't accept me either. So my last two choices were Syracuse and Carnegie Mellon. My father and mother took me to both colleges. And I said, you know what? It's cold in both places. So, I can't make a decision based on that. So what's my decision going to be based on? And I'd gotten into the SI Newhouse School of Journalism in Syracuse. And then I'd gotten to the Carnegie Mellon University creative writing program through their humanities and social science college. And the only reason I went was because of the Steelers. It had nothing to do with academics. I probably shouldn't even be saying this all over TV, all over the world. But that was the basis of me going to Carnegie Mellon. So I want to give a shout out to Franco Harris and to that beautiful Hail Mary team. Because Pittsburgh has been my place because of the Steelers. Yes. Give a shout out to you, David. Thank you to all you who are watching. And I'm just thrilled to just be part of this. So thank you very much.
No, thank you. Those who are watching this program today, you can be a support by clicking that QR code. Get that QR code, get your phone out, put that phone photo, click that QR code, and you can give a donation towards supporting our shows and programs like this today. And watch the repeats over and over and over again on the PIC TV network, on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. You have to come back. I enjoyed this presentation. The world enjoyed it. It was one of the best shows that I have had. I can't wait to tell everybody about you being on Carnegie Mellon. That is big. That is super big. Hey, let me ask you a couple of sports questions.
Oh no!
You say you know more sports than most men. So,
Well, now let me put a caveat on that. I'm old school now, so we're only going to go up to a certain point.
all right.
But go ahead.
All
Go
right.
ahead. Try me.
We'll save that to the next show. We'll save that to the next
Okay,
show.
that's fine.
We'll
That's
save
fine.
it to the next show.
I have a very good sports. I have a couple of good sports stories that I could tell, for sure.
I want you to come back because we have a women's chat channel. We have 60 channels on the Pick TV network. And I want you to talk about, when you come back on the women's chat channel, about the domestic violence, and
Sure.
how you're a survivor of domestic violence. And also, you don't have to let that dominate your life.
No.
You overcome that. You're now a book author. You're entrepreneur. You're doing films. You're doing so many things and on educational levels, and I'm so proud again. That's why you got to come back and talk on that.
Sure. I will. I most certainly will. No problem. You let me know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we already got. I'm gonna call out. I'm gonna call our team person and say, book her. We got to get you back. Any final shout outs you want to give before we close out?
Well, I just want to tell everyone who is recovering from the 2-year hiatus that we had from life in this pandemic. It's not, life is not over. If you have been suffering from depression, get some help. Talk to someone. We've all been there. And so nothing that is anything that's unusual right now is not unusual. It is what we are all going through in one way, shape, or form or fashion. I was blessed. Thank you. Shout out to the University of Michigan, who just had the wherewithal to bring back their 2020 graduates who were iced by COVID and never had a graduation. And that was for all graduates, really, probably nationally. I had the honor of seeing my son hooded last Saturday on May the 7th at the University of Michigan Stadium, getting a PhD in applied physics after he researched for 9 years and then got iced for 2 years from even being recognized that he had even been there for 9 years. So for that, University of Michigan, go blue. Thank you for that comeback 2020 graduation, where my son received his PhD right after Dr. Anthony Fauci was conferred an honorary degree as the commencement speaker as well. So that was an epic event. I am thankful to God that I lived to see that. And I just want to shout out to University of Michigan, go blue.
Thank you. Hey, how do you feel when you see Pick TV Network? You're seeing our commercials. This first time you've been on our network.
Oh my goodness. I'm like smiling, like everything I see is like, it reminds me of a portion of my life. I was watching one of the TV commercials and the guy was studying. It reminded me of both of my sons. I have a son who's a nurse and he was even in scrubs, remind me of my own child. Then I saw the little boy on one of the commercials. It reminds me of my 5-year-old grandson, who I am also homeschooling, by the way. I'm on Next Gen Homeschooling. It's a whole another show for the education part. And then I was just watching, was Layla Ali one of your people?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Layla and we talk on Instagram. I buy her spices. My son uses her spices. He calls them Layla spices. He puts them in his eggs when I was teaching him how to cook. And my grandson. So, everything was relative for me. It's wonderful. Thank you so much, David, for asking that.
Yeah, we have a lot of support from stars that have given us commercials, from Anthony
Beautiful.
Anderson, Rotimi from Power, Kim Burrell, Vicky Winans, Dorinda Clark Cole, Maya, Howard Hewitt, Trina, William Hung, Claudia Jordan. That's who was with also Brian Mitchell from the former Washington Redskins, who are Commanders now. Reginald Ballard, he brought man from the Fifth Floor Kid and Play, which was awesome. D.L. Hughley. The list goes on and on. People giving us so much love and promos. But we do need support. For those who are watching right now, we want to do bigger and better things as we grow, and I'm so happy again. This interview you had today is epic for our network, especially from the educational community. To have anyone connected with Carnegie Mellon, that's the cream of the crop, So
all right now.
all of you who are going to be listening again over and over, because we're going to play this until the cows come home, and let's support Pick TV Network, folks.
Thank
you.
You.
Chance, go to that. And we're looking for some sponsors to our shows and programs. There's another show I'm building right now called the Prison Freedom Channel. People came out of prison who have stories. And I got a brother named O. He's from Chicago. He's done episode number 7. So we were on before you came on.
I saw some of it. Yes.
Yeah, he was interviewing brothers and sisters who came out of prison who are successful now. One of the person who has 7 stores with Boot Mobile. Others who are helping kids and Boys and Girl Scouts.
Yes.
They're doing wonderful things and rebuilding the community. So even he works at a homeless shelter and helping people. Has 4 books out. Nice. So that show is dear to me. And also another show I'm doing right now while we're talking called the Special Needs Love Show, where people who have cerebral palsy, MS, a lot of folk out there, autism, but they are doing great things, writing books. They are out there coaching. One of the persons is visual impaired, but she's on Clubhouse talking and inspiring folks. So a lot of people doing some big things, even though they may have some disabilities, they have possibilities.
Yes. I also have a clubhouse. I have 2 clubhouse rooms on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Sisters Lace Up, Campaign for Change, and also Shut Them Down, Solutions for Black Women in Toxic Workspaces.
Wow. And you got to bring me on then. I love to support
you. Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Now I have to say the Tuesday room is created for Black women by Black women, but everyone is welcome.
My wife is the graduate of UVA. She's more than qualified. She just celebrated a lot of years in the government working for different agencies, and she's a queen and an educated lady. So she'll be great for that role.
Well, good. My proposal management company does contracting work for government agencies. So yes, so I'd love to talk to your wife as well. And I want to give a shout out to Anthony Anderson because Blackish is my show. I am a top fan of Blackish. I actually have a top fan badge on Facebook for Blackish.
He just left the area at Howard University. He was honored at Howard and his son. Yeah.
Saw that. Yes. So I'm giving a shout out to him as well. Yeah. And my girl, Tracy Ross. Yeah.
Hey, everybody, you've been watching Pick TV Network special, Up Close and Personal Spotlight with Danne Smith Mathis, graduate of Carnegie Mellon University. She's also doing some big things for the community. She's a book author. She's an entrepreneur, folks, and you have to get in touch with her. She has some documentaries out right now. She's also the 1968 U.S. Olympic team. She was on the women's 1968 Olympic team, and she also is a survivor of a domestic survivor. And I'm excited. I'm on cloud 29.
Well, I was not on the team, but I am. They did adopt me as an honorary family member of that team, and I have written a documentary about the women of the 1968 U.S. Olympic team.
Well, that's good to know.
Yes.
But I want you to come back. When you come back to be on the Women's Chat channel, you got to talk about that. And also, I want some more history on the Carnegie Mellon. I want you to get.
I have a ton of it. I have a ton of it. I have a ton of it.
I'm telling you, I would have lost this bet if I would have had you on today, being a graduate of the same school that I brag on. You don't know how big I brag on Carnegie Mellon University.
You paid a lot of big bragging money. You ought to brag.
Yeah. And my son, Amos Evans, when he graduated, he was one of the few African Americans to walk across that stage.
Yes. Still a lot to be done there. And trust and believe, as a member of the Carnegie Mellon University Alumni Association Board, I'm going to help make it continue to happen so that there'll be more like your son.
He loves the school. I mean, he goes back there and he helps the other freshmen coming in and those.
Yeah, it looks good.
He loved Carnegie Mellon.
You have to give me his contact information because I'm gonna put him to work. He thinks he love it. He going. I don't know. He hasn't been working under me yet.
I give you his number on the IG. Yes. Amos Evans. He's a musician. Matter of fact, he did his first music project at Carnegie Mellon, and it was packed. He has.
They have a new African American dean of music there.
Wow. Hey, matter of fact, let me do this. Let me play one of Amos' songs while we do a little break, and you can see a little bit of this, folks. We watch this special preview of the Pick TV Network, and let's play a little bit of Amos, graduate of Carnegie Mellon University.
Count
Nice.
on me. Don't be worried. Cast all your troubles away. Wherever you're going, just know that I'll be there. Count on me. Put on your smile. No need to frown, 'cause I'm here. Just look to me, and it will be alright. Just take a breath and look around, 'cause I have never ever let you down. My love for you will never fail. I'll be here forever.
Count on me, put on your smile. No need to frown, 'cause I'm here. Just look to me, and it will be alright. Alright. Just take a breath.
Take a breath.
And look around. I have never ever let you down. My love for you will never fail. I'll be here forever.
You can count on me.
But you can count on me.
I know you're worried, you're afraid, but trust me, you can count on me.
Said I'll always be there, I'll never leave you. I know the others have failed, but I will be right there for you.
Just take a breath and look around. I'll never let you
Said I'll
down.
never let you down.
And I never will.
You can count on me.
You can count on me. I said I'll never let you down.
People come and they go,
I'll never
but
leave.
I'll be.
You can count on me.
Yeah, that's famous Evans. That's my son.
Beautiful.
He writes, directs, plays, and he learned it all from Carnegie Mellon. That's what he started at Carnegie
There you
Mellon.
go. There you go.
Wonderful people there, and the staff, the teachers, the president. He loves his school, and I'm just so happy I ain't got to drive up and down those mountains no more. The Breezewood and all those mountains. Those were a wonderful, wonderful blessing to see my son graduate. It was amazing.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it was amazing. We packed out the Western Hotel downtown, and family came. My wife and his mother-in-law and his grandma. Everybody came.
Yes, I remember the day, May 14th, 1979. For me, we were about 12 deep.
Hey, folks, you've been watching this special presentation on the PIC TV network. It's time for us to go, but we will be back again, folks. Don't forget, watch the repeat of this show, the PIC TV network. If you want to get in touch with us, all you have to do is then click and play www.thepictvnetwork.com. And you can also catch us on your cell phone, If you want to just scan right up where you are right now, scan that QR code. We'd love for you to support us and help us. We need all the help we can get as we grow our new network, reaching people from all walks of life. Thank you again, Danne Smith. Thank you. Keep doing great things.
Thank you, David. It's good to be here.
Yeah, I'll definitely we'll be talking soon, and you'll be back on PIC TV Network, and I cannot wait.
All right. Ciao.
Yes, you can achieve a college education right here in your own community. Harcum College's ACE program at the Deliverance Evangelistic Church offers associate degree programs that can help you land a good job and improve your quality of life.
I like Harcum and Debbie because I can continue my education.
The teachers are great. The atmosphere is great.
It's all possible through iLead and Harcum.
Call now or check out our Facebook page at Harcum College at Deliverance Evangelistic Church.